We're ready.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this special called meeting of the Danville City Commission. Monday, January the 11th, the hour is 5:30, and we are being live streamed on www.youtube.com. I will call us to order. I will make note that Commissioner Terry is absent due to medical situation with her grandmother.
Yes.
I will ask that we be led in a moment of prayer by Commissioner James H. Atkinson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, citizens of Danville. Good afternoon. I'd like to do a moment of silence in honor of the Danville-Boyle County COVID-19 victims. Thank you. If tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I would walk right up in heaven and bring our loved ones back again. Since you'll never be forgotten, I pledge to you tonight, our community pledges to you tonight, a hallowed place within our hearts is where you'll always stay. So tonight we light up 30 green candles in the windows of City Hall in honor of those members of our community who have given their lives to the effects of COVID-19. And we do this to keep their memories alive, but we do this to show respect to their family members who are still within our community. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I want to personally thank you, sir, on behalf of in the window. We appreciate that very much, because we do need some form of recognition in the community. Thanks for doing it.
Well, let's give credit to where it's due. It's due to my wife. My wife thought of that over the weekend, and next thing I knew, she'd ordered a bunch of green light bulbs to offset. We're lighting up City Hall. We've been doing that since March in honor of people, our citizens all across the state of Kentucky and throughout the United States. But we thought we should do something that would highlight and be a memorial to those who in our local community, the city and the county, who've passed. So sometime tonight, those 30 candles will light up and stay lit most of the night, and we hopefully will do that every night. And we pray that we don't have to, but if need be, we will add additional candles. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Address any agenda items and agenda items only. Do we have any?
There are no comments.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We'll move right on into the general. Item 1 is the Arts Commission Arts Citizen of the Year Award presentation.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready. Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm happy to be here again today. Last year, the Arts Commission took the opportunity to reaffirm its mission. And when I take a look at the mission, it's really broken into about 4 different parts. And I think that when we choose an Art Citizen of the Year, we look for someone who has fulfilled basically our mission. The first part of our mission has to do with being a person who supports artists and arts organizations. And Liz has done just that. She served on the board of the library for 12 years. She served on the board of West T. Hill, and she served on the Sister Cities Commission, all organizations which support artists and arts organizations in this community. The second part of our mission has to do with supporting children, youth, and advancing opportunities for children. And I have to say that in this area, Liz has been a friend to the Arts Commission because she was the writer of the first 3 of our plays, which were produced for our students, along with ASAP, and she directed the first 2. So it wasn't just because she was doing that because we hired her, so to speak, to do it. She spent so many more hours working with these kids and nurturing these young actors, all of which are really budding actors in our community. The third part is working with technical support to create new organizations. Certainly founding Scarlet Cup Theater, which is one of the most innovative theaters in the state of Kentucky. It's a site-specific theater that matches the play, usually an international play, to a local venue. They have been very popular. The theater is a self-sustaining theater and can't wait to get back in operation as soon as possible. And the fourth area is in advocacy and collaboration with partners. And I guess here, one of the things that has been really among many other things, but her work at North Point. She, along with Robbie Henson, founded the Playwright Program for the inmates, which has become actually fairly internationally acclaimed, having had several of the plays by the inmates recognized and awarded nationally. She also, once she finished that period of time, she began the North Point Chorus. So I think there's so many things we could say about Liz. We're grateful that she is a playwright. She has been produced and awarded multiple times in our community, as well as having won several national awards. But she still works within our community. I think she'll have a few things to do, a few more acts to play before it's all over with, but we're very proud that Liz Orndorff is the Arts Citizen of the Year. I have to say something also about the award. The award is one that is designed and created by a local artist, and the etching work is also done by a local person. We don't need to buy something from someplace else. We have it right here in our community.
Nice. Mimi don't go far. Liz, you and Mimi both want to join up here? This is a proclamation for the 2020 Arts Citizen of the Year Award. Whereas Liz Orndorff has served our community as a distinguished and noteworthy playwright with multiple plays produced locally at both West T. Hill Theater and Pioneer Playhouse, and whereas Liz Orndorff's play, Death by Darkness, won the International Mystery Writers Festival in 2007 and the Southern Playwrights Competition in 2008. And whereas Liz Orndorff represented our community in the Sister Cities Artists Exchange with Carrickfergus, Northern Ireland, our sister city. And whereas Liz Orndorff was instrumental in initiating and coordinating the popular Irish drama program, camp program, at West T. Hill Community Theater. And whereas Liz Orndorff was the co-founder and instructor of the playwriting program at North Point and was the founder of the North Point Chorus. And whereas Liz Orndorff has served as a board member of the Boyle County Public Library and the West T Hill Community Theater. And whereas Liz Orndorff wrote and directed the first 3 plays in the Arts Commission and Agency for Substance Abuse Policy School Play Project. And whereas the Danville City Commission recognizes the significance of the contribution of arts to the vitality of our community. Now, therefore, let it be known that Liz Orndorff has been selected and recognized as the 2020 Arts Citizen of the Year by the Arts Commission of Danville and Boyle County. Congratulations, well deserved, and appreciate all that you do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Hang on. If you'd like to share some words of wisdom, please do.
Thank you very much. It's always an honor to be honored, and especially here in Danville, which is a hotbed of artistic activity. And it's very easy to get into your art here in Danville. For one reason, we have the Arts Commission that supports us, and we have the Arts Center that supports us. So I didn't do this by myself. You can't do art by yourself, basically. So I have a great board at Scarlet Cup, and it's been great working with Mimi. So I just want to thank everybody who looks at art, appreciates art, and encourages other artists. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Do I hear a motion to accept the proclamation in honor of Liz Orndorff?
So moved.
Thanks, Commissioner Cottle. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Holland. How about that? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 3 is a presentation by John Albright and Cindy Ellsworth about the Boyle County Industrial Foundation. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, thank you. I had some handouts here. I don't know what the protocol.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Cindy Ellsworth. I'm on the executive board of the Boyle County Industrial Foundation. John Albright is vice chair. In the packets that I've given you, a lot of you may be familiar with the Industrial Foundation and who we are, but I just wanted you to see who the current board of directors are, which is on top there. And the next page states a little bit of what our mission is at the Industrial Foundation. And the next part of it are our bylaws. And we wanted to come here personally tonight to extend an invitation in spirit of cooperation to serve. We recently amended our bylaws to go back to the way things were pre-EDP, and are asking, the Board of Directors voted that the Judge Executive of Boyle County and the mayor or city manager of the city of Danville, which to be determined by the city commission on your preference, to join our board as ex officio non-voting directors of the Industrial Foundation. And we just wanted to come here personally and extend the invitation, not in an email or a letter, and grateful for the opportunity to be on the agenda.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll have that discussion at some point. Get back to you. John, anything you want to add?
I just was here if there was any historical questions, about as far as how the city has been represented in the past and why, maybe if there's questions about why it's non-voting versus voting.
Yes.
Any questions?
Well, it'd probably be good to touch on that just for the general public's knowledge, if nothing else, John.
For initially, the city and the county reps were voting members, and then there was an issue that came up as far as concerning the liability, legal liability, if the city was a voting member. And at the time, then the city and the county judge both decided that they did not want to incur or risk any liability issues on their votes, so they asked to be non-voting members, and they still participated in all the meetings and still provided input and assisted
Okay.
the foundation in that way, so.
And that is subject that by a vote of the Board of Directors, if they decided again they would like to be voting members, I mean, it would certainly be considered. In the future, it isn't.
I don't think I'd ever heard, the genesis of the how that got started, so, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate
for
your
your time.
time. Have a good evening.
There really is a smile underneath.
Item 4 is resolution number 2021-01-11-01. This is in regards to the Main Street Letter of Commitment, which you have under tab 4.
Mr. Mayor, while they're joining us, I'd like to make a motion for approval of Resolution 2021-01-11-01, the Main Street Letter of Commitment.
I will accept that motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second for discussion.
Thank you, Commissioner Cottle. We are in discussion. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. So glad to be here. Y'all all just gonna leave me back?
Take it away, Nine.
I have the copy of our strategic plan for you.
Thank you.
You have
Thank you, ma'am. We tried.
So the strategic outline not only talks about the mission of the heart, which most of you know, Certified Main Street Program, that's why we're here tonight, to have our letter of commitment signed, hopefully, fingers crossed. But it also talks about our plans, because the heart has had an interesting past. But we have had, for 2020 being a pandemic, we had a heck of a year. Our board took over in July, and we have been run by the board. People don't usually think I need a microphone, but so we've been run by the board since July. We had an interim, part-time, temporary executive director at one point. Hopefully in this month, the end of this month, beginning of February, we'll launch a search committee for a new executive director, and hopefully partner with the city in the master plan and accomplish great things, because what we have accomplished during a pandemic, we did a telethon, we raised money, decorated downtown. Even in the time when we had so many things going wrong, our board rallied around in our committees, and we put in a ton of volunteer hours, which was amazing to watch, and moved the heart forward, and actually probably further than it has been in the last couple of years. So the strategic plan not only gives you what you all know, our mission, but our plans for the next couple of years. for each committee. We're a four-committee Main Street program, a traditional, and I may need your help here, on a traditional Main Street program, in that we're a nationally accredited Main Street program, a state and nationally accredited Main Street program. Our accreditation is important because it gives us education, opportunities, and colleagues throughout other Main Street programs throughout not only the state, but the nation. So that also gives us more opportunities, more ideas to bring back to our little hamlet of love here. Do y'all have any questions?
We are in discussion. Any questions or comments?
I will have. Are you finished for, I mean?
I mean, I'll talk as much as you want. You just say the word.
Okay, well, I'll jump in here just because I think you touched on something that and I hate to bring this up because everybody thinks when I bring something up that I'm anti or against, and that is nothing's further from the truth. But people do ask me these questions, such as, why do we need to be a certified Main Street program? I think you touched on some of that. You might want to elaborate a little. And
So-
why couldn't we just have a group of, like a special interest group concerned with promotion and, the keeping downtown vital?
We
why
could.
do that?
We could just have a Main Street group, a group of local people concerned. However, what it would not give us is it would not give us the education. It would not give us opportunities to grants. Those are some of the things we would miss out on. It would not give us the network of other Main Street communities other than guessing on our own as to who we could talk to. We also have trainings every week, every month, and meetings every week with the state coordinator. So it's a constant flow. I wish you could see the emails. I didn't know what our director was being bombarded with until we took it over, and it was an eye-opener for a lot of us. What our director, it's amazing the amount of information out there, and it's just made us want to harness that information, and we haven't been using it to our full capacity. So that's been our goal, is to take more of that information, use it to better Danville, to further Danville, and give it. So you saw a lot of it. You saw some of it this holiday season, and what we did with the retailers in the I don't know if I hope you started following. Did you start following the Facebook page, Mike? You didn't see the live videos? None of them?
I don't look at Facebook.
Okay, Mike,
Very
you
often.
should just watch these because they were good. I mean, if I do say so myself. So that was one of the things, was giving people virtual tours of all of our stores. And what we started with this year is so the other businesses downtown, because sometimes those get forgotten about. Your building, Get Fit Studios, we did a live last week there to show people, had no idea. We had the most amazing turnout on our Facebook page of people who had no idea what was on the third floor of your building. No idea that all that was up there and that there was somebody who wanted to actually help them with their health and well-being sitting on Main Street in downtown. So it's some of those things that are so important, because when we have those because we're all volunteers. So having a director and having someone who's dedicated to constantly furthering this mission, we all see now exactly how important that is and how much work it takes. And we also see where we need to divide up other work. Like, they don't need to be going to meetings constantly. We've realized this. We all need to be dividing up, and our committees have taken a hold of all of our work plan and divided it up. And we're trying to realign it and make it so that it is exactly what the Heart's mission is.
Okay. And I'll ask one more question, and then I'll pass it on. The city's doing the downtown master plan. Have you all been in on some of that?
Some of it.
Okay, and you think that you could
Well, we reached out to-
absorb that in your mission going forward, I suppose?
We should be. So the Heart should be on the Streetscape Committee. Like, we reached out to Earl to put our design committee with the Community Arts Center. So some things that we could help with getting you all prepared for, like the bump outs, to go ahead and help with designs through the Arts Center, through our design committee. That's one of those collaborations that the Heart should be handling for you all, so that when you're ready to go to the transportation cabinet, you say, well, here's all the city stuff, but here's all the other stuff. Here are all the businesses have signed off on it. These are the artists through the Community Arts Center who've been chosen. These are the designs. Those are the kind of things that we should be coordinating for you, that hopefully in the future we will be. And that's one thing, is we need to have more collaboration with the city. That's probably been our biggest deficits over the years.
Thank you very much.
Questions, comments?
I just, I had asked before about any group I always like to see about the city and that group, the funding agreement. Could I still get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
'Cause that
so
would be-
we're working on that and the budget. Everything kind of hinges on this. So this letter of commitment changes things because whether we're going forward as partners of the cities or not changes completely our outlook there. But yes, the city, you get our financials quarterly or every month. Yes, we've been trying to do them every month because it's on us right now. So, and yes, you'll have our budget and our plan for the year.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll be getting that.
Oh, you'll get more emails than you want.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Well, that was going to be my comment. First of all, thanks for your outreach during the holidays to try to sit down and have a dialogue, and I appreciated that effort, and hope you appreciated my efforts too. But
Did, thank you, GH.
I want to just say thanks for the emails that I received. I think they started yesterday, and I got some again today, and some very thoughtful letters, well written, and very encouraging about some of the things that you outlined as reasons why we should continue to support this program. So I want to say thanks.
We just
Anything
wanted you to
further?
know how many of the businesses, we have
Yeah.
rebuilt some relationships there. There are some new, we've had new businesses come in. So we just wanted you to know exactly where we are today, because it's different than where we were a year ago.
There seems to be a different energy even though you don't have a executive director.
And it's our volunteers. We have the most amazing group of volunteers. Our board and our committees, well, they all came. Not all, but a bunch. You,
I had one more comment. I mean, I had talked with Ann Yeager. Step one is obviously realizing there's been a problem in the past. A lot in the community approached me concerned about, wasting taxpayer dollars in the past 5 years at times. And I did feel a new sense of energy. This was very impressive because I had a list of questions. This not only answered all of my questions, but went above and beyond. And you do have a top-of-the-line volunteers right now. And thank you for your work over the holidays. Several store owners said that they had an increased flow of business after your videos. I could mention 2 or 3.
And I guess it would be okay, we usually don't do this, but if any of you volunteers, board members want to ask us questions, we want to hear those as well. We probably won't answer you, but at least we'll be willing to know what your questions are.
I guess I'm going to take liberty with that, JH, and just say I don't know if it's a question, but I wanted to point out, so I'm at Center College. I'm the Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the college. And CenterWorks is actually going to be working closely with the Heart as well to really ramp up our business strategies and how we're actually going to implement our strategic plan. So I think we're taking advantage of a lot of good synergies and a lot of good energy and a lot of good expertise. I'll point to Lisa Thompson at the end there. She probably is the master guru of Main Street programs throughout the area and throughout the country. Actually knows a lot about the organization, and I think has done a lot to train us up. Many of us are new to Danville. And I think that sometimes that means that we've got to learn. I didn't really understand what the Heart was when I signed on to the board. And I think I caught a lot of that negative energy when I came on and wondering whether or not it was going to be a vital program. And I'm convinced it's one of the most important things that the city could fund. I don't think $25,000 is too much to support an organization that is actually doing some really good work in Danville, and I'm excited to be on board. I'm convinced that this is the volunteer organization. We don't need to create another one. We got one. And I think that if you can support the one that we are, I think you're going to see some really good things. And I'm excited about the master plan for the city, and I think that we can really help implement it. So, they have actual questions.
Well, I just want to address what Kevin had asked about the accreditation. Because to me, I don't see why we wouldn't be accredited. It doesn't cost us very much to do that. In years past, we've gone through this accreditation process, and our director has done it. And this year, I'm doing it with a lot of help, but I'm the one that's collecting everything. And it has really been eye-opening because there's a lot of things that I didn't realize that our director was having to gather. And shame on me as a board president that I didn't know, but for you all that sit on boards, it's easy sometimes to let your executive director do the bulk of the work. And so like Ann Yeager said, we've really had to learn a lot just without having a director. And it's been good for us though. So the accreditation, I think, just adds a lot of value to the organization that's really important. Anybody else?
Any further questions or comments?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I have one. I'll be honest. Just one more thing. I'm thankful, as bad as 2020 was, I'm thankful that certain things happened. They happened for a reason, because had the pandemic not hit, had our director not left, it would not have brought us together as a board, and it would not have brought the heart, kind of this resurgence back into the heart. And so in that respect, not that I want it to repeat itself, but I am thankful that I feel like we have made our margaritas out of our lemons. And I am thankful for this board and all the work that they have done.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, just point of clarification, just so we all are clear. This is a letter of commitment to support the Heart of Danville as far as your accreditation. We have not gotten into the budget process yet. So they are two separate things. I just want to make
Correct.
sure we're clear.
Yes, we'll
on
go through money later. You can give more. You can give more. We'll talk director, all those kind of things later. This is that we are going to partner together and work together and have as much synergy as possible and support one another. It's a marriage of sorts.
Mr. Mayor, I call for the question that we approve Resolution 2021-01-1101 as presented.
Question's been called. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Thank you, ladies
Please
and
sign.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Item 5 is the enforcement report from Codes.
Sign right there.
Where do Ashley go?
Hello, Bridget.
Hey, Ashley's time of work, look at her. Well, they came on, didn't they? Yeah.
A lot of switching around here, isn't it? Okay, you have before you the monthly reports for December and November for codes enforcement. We issued, in the 2 months together, we issued 41 business licenses. We did 160 inspections and 63 parking tickets and 12 notice of violations. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you all might have. It's been a hectic month.
Looks like you've been busy again, so thanks for the efforts.
Yes. With skeleton crews, but we still were quite
Yeah,
busy.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Always a good report.
All right.
Yes.
I will turn it over to Joni.
Ashley, you did good.
Good evening. How is everybody this evening?
We're good, thank
all
you.
right.
Haven't seen you all in a while. Hello. We wanted to talk with you tonight about getting an art moratorium for the next 12 months. I have actually got most of, to start back over, you all remember before COVID hit, we were working on a combined commission with the City Commission and the Danville Architectural Heritage Board about the public art murals. We are in the process of redoing our standards, and we were making great progress, and then we got stalled with the pandemic. I am ready to present that to you guys, save 2 issues, and that is the size of the mural and whether it's to be treated as a sign or not. we have got to get back together and get that done. But until that time, it's been the recommendation that we have a public art moratorium for not more than 12 months. I really feel like we can probably get this done by the spring if we can get together and have that discussion and get those design guidelines redone. But it would be the recommendation of DAHB to have that art moratorium for the next, up to 12 months. And I'm happy to answer any questions, and certainly happy to meet with you guys at any point very soon to get that finished up.
Well, you know, it makes sense to me to have a moratorium until we get the rules in place. I was wondering if maybe 6 months wouldn't be sufficient, because, you know, nobody's really gonna be doing that this time of year
Certainly.
until the summer. But, you know, that's not a deal killer for me. It's just a thought.
Well, I think it was actually up to 12 months, or as soon as we get those guidelines worked out. And literally, folks, we've got 2 issues that we have left. And if we can get a meeting sometime next month, I think we'll be pretty well underway to get that finished up. We'll have to run those recommendations through the Kentucky Heritage Council just to make sure that we're still with our certified local government. But it's really pretty much done, other than the size of the mural, or if we are going to treat it as a sign, how that's going to actually work through the variance process.
I'd like to echo Commissioner Cottrell's sentiment. I think if you can get it done in 6 months, that would be nice. That way you're at the beginning of summer months and,
Sure.
yeah.
I would have no problem getting, I'm quite certain we can get it done within that
Good.
time.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'd like to try to do it next month,
Sooner
February,
than- yeah.
if possible.
Okay.
Okey-doke.
The action tonight is simply a recommendation that's been presented at a committee. So it's before you as a matter of first impression. So should you decide to act, I would prepare a resolution, or municipal order rather, to that effect, similar to what you did on the construction permit moratorium in light of the pending implementation of the streetscape plan, or not streetscape, excuse me, the downtown master plan. So I would prepare that municipal order for the next meeting with the 6-month limitation, if that's what you so desire.
Yes, I'm quite confident we can get that done sooner than later.
All right.
Seems to be a consensus up here.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that instruction and prepare it
Okay.
for the next meeting. And I think, again, to the commission, like the DAHB, should begin to think a little bit about these guidelines, because they are important in their implementation, and they are large, maybe in scale, maybe not. But it is a different way of operating to approve murals or other public art downtown. And so I think those last issues of size,
Yes.
as opposed to just process, are really important. Should, and the overarching question for you to be considering, as DAHB does too, because ultimately they'll come to you for approval, is how much of the side of a building or front of a building should a mural be able to take up downtown? Question. From a policy perspective, what is that answer?
Right.
It's not meant to be answered tonight, but it's one that you should start thinking about, and as you travel throughout the state at various places to see how other communities treat it. And communities treat it rather differently.
There's a wide variety of how that's treated. And there was some discussion whether we wanted to address it as a sign and then have those folks apply for a variance through planning and zoning. So there's a couple different mechanisms. But the Architectural Heritage Board, really, they're more concerned about how it is applied to the building so that it does not do any harm.
Right.
But it is given in our guidelines as they stand now, some very specific directions that we need to fix.
I hate to mention the word content of the proposals, but that's always been a stickler for our community.
Well, and I will tell you, Commissioner Atkins, Architectural Heritage Board, we will now focus more on how it is applied to the building as opposed to the content.
And
There are
size.
significant free speech issues involved in that. And really, you know, the National Trust has this saying, it's don't faint, it's only paint. So as long as it's not doing anything to the building that would cause permanent alteration of the building or some type of destruction to the building, Certainly, there are some thou shall nots. You can't put them on the front facades, you can't paint on and paint in masonaries. But the content is really not, should not be an issue for the Architectural Heritage Board. And we're trying to get out of that, so.
Seems like those are the only ones we hear about is the contents
content.
question, yeah.
Yes, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We-
that's okay.
We're aware.
Well, we appreciate it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Okay, well, you guys have a great evening. Thank you all.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay.
Item 7 is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, that being December the 14th, 2020. Chair will entertain a motion to accept or amend.
I move for approval of the minutes of the, how many, just one? The meeting of 12/14/20 as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Cottle. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Holland. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 8 is the appointment for the Urban Renewal Board. And you have before you the suggestion of James Murphy to fulfill the term of Jim Rankin. His term will
James
expire August 31 of 2022.
James Murphy? All right, I'll offer a motion I'm sorry. Offer a motion to approve the recommendation of Mr. James Murphy as a new member of the Urban Renewal Board.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Cottle, discussion?
I'd just like to, I think I'd be remiss if we didn't thank
Yes, yeah.
Jim Rankin for all his years of service.
Yes.
We'll miss him. He's a great guy, and
Yeah.
appreciate all he did through the years. And I think Murphy's going to be a good choice.
Jim was definitely a silent servant. He
Yes.
just went about quietly doing a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Call the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 9 is the commission meeting date and time discussion. This is a matter of protocol. Since we are seating a new commission, we are required by law to make this determination.
And I know Mr. Atkins is anxious to move the meeting at 9 a.m. on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Is that a motion, sir, or?
I just said Happy New Year to you. I take it all back, right?
The ordinance states currently as you are meeting now, so there's, other than an affirmance on your part, there isn't a necessity to have a new ordinance unless you move the day and time. But that will be your regular meeting date, hopefully, without more COVID-19 interruptions going forward,
So second and fourth Thursdays at 5:30?
unless you all change it tonight.
Second and fourth Thursdays.
He didn't hear
Well,
me. He
excuse me,
didn't hear
Mondays. You're tripping me up now.
I'm just messing with you.
I think, well,
I'm okay with the
Yeah.
current date and time myself.
Currently.
well, we need, no,
Need a
we don't
motion?
need action. We're okay with that? Okay.
You could take a simple voice vote just to affirm it for the record. I think you probably should, actually.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. There you go. Item 10 is the appointment of the mayor pro tem. Traditionally, that has been the commissioner that has received the most votes. And once again, Commissioner Atkins has been the largest vote getter. And so with that, I will make the motion, if you don't mind, for Commissioner Atkins to be the mayor pro tem for the next 2 years. Is there a second to that?
Yep,
Jean
second.
does.
Actually, don't need a second, do we? Or do you want a voice vote anyway?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then we have a motion and a second. Discussion?
Is that all we got to choose from? Is that it? All right.
I was going to abstain from voting, Cottle.
Yeah.
Has your recount been considered yet, final yet? Commissioner Cottle, is it still under
I don't know. I don't know if
evaluation?
it's been
Oh,
certified.
please, oh, please. Don't go there. Don't go there.
He's talking
Don't go
about Cottle's
there.
recount, right?
That's
All
right.
in favor of Mayor Pro Tem Atkins, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Item 11 is the second reading of ordinance number 1958. This is a codification of that ordinance. Madam Clerk, I will ask you to read that ordinance, please.
This is the second reading of ordinance number 1958, an ordinance enacting and adopting a supplement to the Code of Ordinances of the City of Danville, Kentucky.
Thank you, ma'am. Do I hear a motion for the second reading?
I'll move to approve the second reading of ordinance number 1958 as presented.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Holland. We are in discussion. This is something that we do every year, Commissioner Holland. It's a matter of protocol and procedure. So you will see this again.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Chair will call the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
After roll call.
Oops, sorry, you're right.
Oh, Ashley.
Commissioner Cottle,
Yes, ma'am?
Mayor Paris.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland,
Yes.
Commissioner Atkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 12 is resolution number 2021-01-11-02. This is the contract approval with RL Design Logo. Ms. Rader, floor is yours.
So we have decided as a city that we need to create uniformity across the board for our letterhead and city logos, and we're trying to not rebrand, but update our logos to a more modern look and provide the uniformity. So this contract is for RL Design to create us 2 drafts, and we would pick from one of those 2. And Earl has anything else he wants to add?
No, thank you. You did good. We had given them all of our old letterhead. Some of the letterhead that we've had has been around for many, many, many years. Many years. We're not talking about replacing the seal. We're just talking about modernizing a simple logo and then updating the letterhead to be consistent across all departments. We've given a couple stabs at it over the years. The Danville Public Works trucks, it has an orange and blue logo. We tried that with the utility and so that we would have some consistency with the brand, but then there was variations off of it for stormwater, for example. But certainly we do feel like that professional help would be advantageous, and he is asking for a contract, and staff is certainly on board with asking the permission to do the work.
Do we know this person, or are they local, or?
He is local. He works. This is extra work for him, really. He is in the banking industry here in town. He's done this work for Center College as part of his business, and certainly we find him definitely capable.
Okay.
Yep.
So not only are we going to be getting some uniformity of style and logo, but we'll be getting uniformity of letterhead, stationary color of that, color of whatever heading we use.
Business cards.
And business cards, et
Right.
cetera. Okay.
Yep.
And so I assume that you'll staff obviously will make a recommendation on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
Sounds good.
I thought about the water tower on the south end of Danville. Commissioner Cottle's little campaign door hangers at that water tower. That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
You saw my water tower, right?
Let's see. I don't believe we had a motion for that resolution, did we? No. Do I hear a motion for the resolution?
Move for approval of resolution 2021-01-1102.
Thank you, Commissioner Cottle. Is there a second?
Is there a cost?
Thank you, Commissioner Holland. Any further discussion?
Was there identified cost to this?
Yes, $4,000.
Okay, all right, I just didn't have it in front of me, okay.
If there's no further discussion, Chair will call the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 13, City Manager Report. Mr. Coffey.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. We will start tonight with two new faces in the audience, and then we'll ask them to come up one at a time. We'll first introduce Josh Morgan, since he is the city engineer, and come on up, and we'll allow him to introduce himself again to the
That's the same
community.
old face.
It's a
You
similar
said it's not.
face. It's not changed a lot. Josh was employed here for a few years, several years ago now. Go ahead, Josh.
I can take my mask down, I guess, I'm up here. Really excited about coming back. This wasn't really something I was pursuing or looking towards, but once I got contacted and talked about it and we looked into it, it just seems right to come back now. Like, I'm very excited and looking forward to starting next week. And got a lot of big goals and dreams in my mind bouncing around for what I can do when I get back here. And I know Earl is the right person to help me reach those goals. So I think we're going to do some big things, and I'm very excited. So,
Good deal. Glad to have you back.
I've already have my work cell phone and laptop set up and getting emails. So if you all have any questions or anything that you want to ask me, feel free to talk to Earl and talk to me, and we can start getting to work. So.
Yeah, Josh will be focused on the general fund, public services, downtown master plan implementation, streetscape project, the fire station next door, larger transportation issues over the course of time, and certainly all those things. Josh is really converted the early versions of the pedestrian trails mapping and for the Safe Routes to School grant several years ago, and began the transition from what it was originally to what it is now. And certainly he has a strong background and passion for a lot of those things, and we're excited to have him.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a coincidence or what, we were talking about the fire station next door, the program that they're using with Lynn Imaging to manage that project. That's what I use every day at my job that I'm at now, to manage all the projects that I do for the state. So I've already got a log into that and looking at it already, so I'm going to hit the ground running, especially on the fire station, to help out get that project on a good path. So,
Good.
Excellent.
Welcome.
yeah, thank you all.
Welcome back, I should say.
Thank you. Now, we'd like also to introduce Marshall Carrier as the new Municipal Utility Director for the City of Danville. Marshall, go ahead.
Yep.
Floor is yours.
Glad to be here. Mayor, Commissioners, I'm really excited to get started with the City of Danville. Actually, I already started on the 4th of January, so I've already got my feet wet.
Literally.
Sorry?
Literally.
Yes, sir. Yes, pardon the pun. But no, I guess a little bit of background on what I've done. I guess I'm from Lincoln County originally, from Houstonville. Went to Lincoln County, graduated in '98 from Lincoln, went to UK on a transportation scholarship. Graduated UK and then came and worked for AG Engineering in Stanford. Worked there for about 6.5 years. A lot of good experience there. A lot of good utility design experience there, water and wastewater, sanitary, you name it, storm sewer. Also, a lot of site plan development experience there. Then went in '09, began work with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet in Frankfort in highway design there. And then I got a lot of good experience on the drainage side of things there, and then got a lot of good administrative experience in the State Highway Engineer's office for major projects manager for projects like the Mountain Parkway in eastern Kentucky and an I-69 ORX in Henderson, the connection there with Evansville, Indiana. So met a lot of good people in my years in both in the private sector and in the public sector, and I'm just excited and proud to be a part of Danville and being back here in town. We live just 10 minutes away, so got 2 kids here in school systems, and my wife teaches in the school system as well. So this is a great place to be, and super excited. So
Great.
glad to be here.
Marshall got a chance to work with Josh before, during Josh's first cycle
Yeah.
as a consultant,
Yeah.
seeking plan approval and whatnot, so they.
Yeah, a lot of planning and zoning meetings.
Yes, a lot of planning and zoning meetings. I will say that while Josh has been on the phone with me a bunch, we did catch Marshall out Friday night late to get in a pretty good-sized water main break, and so
Yeah.
I took my hat off and just left it there for him, because, hopefully that
Hey,
that's
Marshall, they
his.
did that on purpose.
Yeah, I know, that's what I heard.
That's the getting your feet wet
Yeah, it
part.
was a rookie thing they did.
I was out looking for you, couldn't find you in the neighborhood, though.
Yeah, no, no, that was actually the second break that we had in probably 24-hour period, so.
Yeah, we had 2 breaks the same day.
Yeah.
Appreciate your work, and we were shorthanded last week, and so
Yeah.
it was all hands on deck that was left standing, I guess, so.
Well, you were out there on the job before Earl found out, so that's a
That's
good
right.
move.
Yeah,
Good move.
well, I just happened to get the call earlier, I guess, but, yeah, but
Well, let
Earl
me-
did,
let
Earl
me
did
say-
come out there later, though, so.
Let me say to both of you that Earl has spoken very highly of both of you all, and he set a bar pretty high just based on his and what he's told me about you and your capabilities, and so I personally, and I'm sure the others the same way, very very happy, very satisfied to have the caliber and the energy that you two bring to the city. Thanks very much.
Thank you. I'll speak for Josh, too. I think we both, fully are prepared to do the best we can for the city of Danville. So.
Excellent.
Great.
Very good.
Thank you.
Welcome to the team.
Next thing I'd like to talk about, and we'll keep it short, is we'd like to start considering a retreat with the commission. We do have a new face on the commission, Jenny. Welcome aboard, and we would like to sit down and talk about really a pre-budget orientation for all of us. We've cycled through. I'm new in this role, and so what we'd like to do is talk about expectations a little bit for the year, and really start the budget process a little bit early with just a retreat to really reset everything for each other. And so what I'd like to do is maybe the end of the month, end of January, just a couple hours to talk. Probably be that last week of January, the first week of February, either Thursday of those 2 weeks, whichever one would suit you, would be fine with us. And we can either have Ashley reach out to you, or you're welcome to pick a day now.
Either the 28th or the 4th. I say the 28th.
28th is fine with us. Both days are open, and certainly we could do it about 8 o'clock in the morning if Mr. Atkins would be happy. No, I'm just kidding.
That sounds wonderful.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it does.
What are we looking at, 9 o'clock?
11 o'clock.
It's your leisure. 9 o'clock is fine with us. Staff will be here.
And
Is that AM?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock a.m. You want to do 11 or 10?
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter to me at
Doesn't
all.
matter to me.
Depends if the children are in school or not,
Yeah.
for me.
There you go.
It's been quite busy up until about 2,
Okay.
having to assist with schoolwork.
Okay.
Is
We can
that
do
too
2
late,
o'clock
2 o'clock? I
That's
can do
fine.
it? Okay.
That works.
28th or the 4th?
You just became Commissioner Atkins' favorite new
I
commissioner.
know why you come over close to me. Look at there, right?
28th, I think.
Let's
is-
do the
Well, I'll be
28th.
in school, but
That's
we do
right.
not know.
We got Terry.
Offer an amendment. If they are in school, could we start earlier?
11 o'clock.
Yes.
11 o'clock. We got to ask Commissioner Terry. She's absent. She's AWOL, but
We will work towards the 28th, and city clerk can set out a time as we
tell her
approach
11
that.
o'clock, though, right?
Yep.
28. Man, y'all hard on the man. aren't
You want to do 11 o'clock? Is that what you want to do?
That's what I prefer, but
Will that meeting be in the commission chambers?
I would like to, we
Okay.
could have it here. Normally, we've always reserved that somewhere else, but I don't think there's a big advantage to do that. I think we just sit down in here and go through the list of things. We have several items that were on our list last year that we want to talk about. A lot of them's been accomplished, such as hiring engineers, hiring city manager, little things like that. Fire station's under construction. So let's reset and talk about the long list of projects and long list of things that we've identified and historically. And I say we, meaning staff and the commission as a group. And so this environment's certainly good enough.
No, we got to wait on.
Waiting to see if school is in session.
And Mr. City Manager, there's a board in the unofficial commission work area.
Yes, sir.
If you want to take a look at that as you plan the agenda.
Yeah, I've got that list.
All right, thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You know about that?
Right. Anything else, sir?
No, sir, that's all I have. Thank you.
Then we'll move right on into hear the public, and this is the public's opportunity to bring up any subject, topic that is not on tonight's agenda.
Come back here. Where you going?
No
Anything,
comments,
Ashley?
sorry, no.
Whoa.
None, then we'll move right on into commissioner comments, if there are any.
Well, before we get started officially, we have a birthday baby with us today, turned 21 again.
Yes, yes.
So let's recognize Commissioner Cottle's 21st birthday.
My first birthday with 38 years experience.
Ooh, you're getting good at
There
it,
you
huh?
go. It's going on in there now.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Any other comments?
I don't
Well,
have anything.
I just want the community to know that as a government body and as individuals, we're all concerned about COVID-19 in our community. And we all have tried to reach out to the families who have lost loved ones, but also reached out to the families who have been dealing with COVID-19 and have not necessarily been in the hospital or lost their life, but there's a lot of it out in our community. And I've been saying to folks when they've contacted me, the health department directs what our community does with COVID-19, not fiscal court, really not city commission. But as individuals, we all want to continue to reach out. Let us know what is going on with you, and we'll reach out as individuals, but I don't really feel like we have a city commission, a position as a body, except follow the governor's and the health department's guidelines. But we do sympathize, we are concerned, and I hope as individuals, we're all following all the guidelines and setting examples for our community.
Well, we stepped into action pretty early when all this started back in March, and I think really tried to raise awareness.
Yes.
I think part of the frustration, and it's in tonight's or maybe tomorrow's Danville paper, about the frustration on the part of all of us about getting data that doesn't seem to correlate with what's actually going on.
Yes, that's right.
And as you read the article tomorrow, there's really nobody to blame. I mean, our health department can only report on what data he is given, and so much of the data out of the state is perhaps inaccurate, but it's just the nature of this pandemic where everybody, including the state of Kentucky, has been caught with the inability to deal with it as effectively as you might like.
Yeah.
So that's part of the frustration, I'm sure. I would like to ask if the commission, would you like to have Brent at each of our upcoming meetings just to give an update, or is that
Yes.
too much, or what do you think?
Yes, whatever he might have time for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least, one a month at least. That would be wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think
with
it's,
no, go ahead.
you go here. This is your
I was just
birthday.
going to say, with there's some uncertainty about the vaccine.
That's
as
what-
well,
yeah,
and that's
okay,
something
same topic,
else
yeah.
that hopefully he can
Give some, yeah.
give us some information on. So.
Yeah, because if he wants some volunteers from local officials to take the vaccine and publicize it, be good examples and role models for the rest of the community, I think the 5 of us, the 7 of us, the 9 of us, we'd find some takers for that. But I think it's important for him to come, if he would, and to just give updates as our new commissioner suggested earlier, that would be great. And on a more positive note, next Monday is ML King holiday. I've tried to find some information about things that are going to go on in our community in spite of COVID-19. I do want to announce that the Art Center of the Bluegrass is having a in-person, a virtual showing entitled The Art of Being Black in Danville. It starts tomorrow, January the 12th, and goes all the way through, I think, the last weekend in March. So you can go in person, or you can go on their Facebook page, the website, and see all kinds of interesting things that have been put together about people growing up black in Danville and Boyle County. All kinds of displays, local artists, interpretations of things, video displays, recorded conversations, and all kind of stuff. But on the ML King weekend, the Art Center is also doing a art box for local students to come by and pick up, and for teachers to use to educate our students about the life and legacy of Martin Luther King. And then on that day, one of the Lexington television channels, I'm not going to say which one because I'm not for sure, but they're going to do the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity annual ML King breakfast. It's going to be done, it's going to be a virtual presentation live on television in Lexington. So I'll try to get some information about that, and maybe our local citizens can participate. And then Center College on that Monday night at 7 o'clock, I think, is having a virtual program. Danville's own Melinda Weathers is the guest speaker. And I'm hoping Center's going to have the capacity to let community folks to Zoom in as well to that program. But again, I just toss those out as FYIs. I don't have all the final details.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Anything else? Seeing none, we'll move right on into item 14, the bill list, and the chair will entertain a motion to approve the bills as submitted.
We're waiting to.
Well,
So if I
wait,
ever have
wait. Make a motion first.
Make a motion first.
Make a motion first.
To approve?
Yes.
Or I'll make a motion to approve the bill list.
Okay.
Second?
And we have a motion by Commissioner Holland, second by Commissioner Cottle. You have a question, ma'am?
Right, so when I get the bill list, if I have questions, do I usually contact Michelle?
You can. You
Or-
can contact city manager.
Okay,
Yeah, I'd prefer you go through the city manager, please, and then we'll distribute that to the appropriate staff
okay,
based on what question you have.
okay. Well, I'll just ask
The,
those.
the.
Yeah, and this goes for the benefit of all commissioners too, and it's always a good time to refresh at the beginning of a new term. But really, the funnel for any question that any commissioner has is through your city manager.
Okay.
He is the funnel for the dissemination of all information to you. So if you have a question about an opens meeting issue, an open records issue, even though there are other individuals assigned to take responsibility for those tasks, you are to go through the city manager for all communications, essentially. That's not to say you can't talk to Josh Morgan and Marshall Carrier, but when there are issues related to those fields, they're not the appropriate individuals to take those questions. You're to direct everything through the city manager.
Do you have one? You have a question now, though?
I will have questions in the future. I don't want to approve anything if I don't know exactly what each line item is, so thank you.
So just FYI, because I had asked the question myself some time back, these bills have not been paid. They will be paid after we make the approval, okay? Any further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 15 is resolution number 2021-01-11-03, This is an agreement regarding the school resource officer. Chief Gray?
Mayor, Commissioners, this is just our annual contract with the school board that we renew every year for supplying the Danville City Schools with a resource officer for the 2021 school year, starting July, running to June of 21.
You mean 22?
This was for this year we're in right now.
This current, 2020, okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll offer a motion to approve Resolution 2021-01-1103 as presented.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Holland, thank you. We're in discussion.
Is he been assigned to, or she been assigned to one particular school?
Officer Ben Reyes is with the high school.
All right, okay, good.
We'd like to, increase that staffing. We'd like to move one into the middle school and then probably split one down the road, one for the 2 or 3 elementary schools, how they end up deciding to split that, down the road.
That's great.
But currently it's just for the one for this current school year.
And we're gonna get them back in school sometime this year, we pray, man.
Hopefully Ben will get them back in school. That's all on Ben.
Any further discussion?
No, that's a good thing, seriously.
Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Good seeing you,
Item-
Chief.
Yeah.
Item 16 is the Public Works storage logs. Counselor Dexter?
Thank you, Mayor. I believe the correct date was 2008, when there was a residence on North 3rd Street between Lexington Avenue and Broadway that was being demolished. And in that raising process was discovered a historic log structure that predates, I believe, I think it was an 18th century log structure. Potentially one of Danville's founders through some research that had been done, but who knows? That could be speculation for all I know, but that's what's been written about it. At that time, there was a campaign that was run by the Heart of Danville to save the logs. I think it was called Save the Logs, creatively. Yeah, I remember. And there were individuals and groups that gave money towards that endeavor, the fiscal court being one, city commission being another. Mayor, I saw your name on that list of donors at that time, as well as a host of other individuals throughout the community. As those logs were safely dismantled, there was nowhere for them to go, and the Heart asked the city to store them, and the city has been storing them since that time. They are currently in, I don't know where they went originally, but now they are in the city's public works facility and taking up much needed room for the expansion of the public works garage. The city would like to be able to take some action to move the logs, get them to their rightful owner, surplus them, what have you. The city is not going to utilize them in any way, and the city wasn't the sole owner of them. But throughout the best efforts of everyone involved, they've never found a home. And I think the Heart has tried to find a home for them throughout the years, but to no avail. With that being said, it's time for the logs to be moved so the city can utilize its building and the taxpayer space there. So in an effort to do so, it is my recommendation that you authorize the filing of a declaration of rights action in Boyle Circuit Court that will have a legal finding that the logs have been abandoned and that all interested parties have relinquished their rights in the logs, so that the city, upon entry of that order, can declare them surplus and auction them or transfer them to another governmental agency for some purpose, be that a historic society or whatever, whatever group may have some beneficial intention for them. But what is clear is that the city cannot continue to house in perpetuity these logs without any purpose or sole ownership thereof. So with that, I'd ask for a motion to file an action of declaratory rights in Boyle Circuit Court to that end. And then there will be more discussion on that, I'm sure, as the lawsuit unfolds. And I call it a lawsuit for lack of better term. It's really a declaration of rights. And there will be notice provided to the public of the action so they can come forth and assert any interest and ownership in the logs that they may have. And if that in fact is the case, then so be it. Then whoever does come forward, if they want them, the city will gladly relinquish whatever rights it has in them so long as they're moved promptly.
I'm gonna ask the commission to defer on this until we can have further conversation, because there may be an easier way around this than going through all that. I'd rather have a conversation outside of the meeting here, because I think there are some extenuating circumstances that may not have been shared.
Fair enough. I would caution, I think this is very much a public issue, and the discussion of it's going to need to be very public, frankly, at some point. And at the appropriate time, maybe that information can be shared.
Sure.
However, I will say this, that the city won't be able to do anything with those logs until an action of this sort is filed, simply because we have no records of all potential owners. So we have it's been discovered that any documentation that once existed with the Heart of Danville has been destroyed. And so there's not a list of known contributors outside of what has been published in Advocate Messenger articles, which is not an exhaustive list. So any type of potential solution that may be able to be achieved would still have to garner court approval.
And I may be able to provide you with that list.
Yeah.
When that money was being raised, wasn't it being spearheaded by just one group in Danville at the time, who I think tried to say they were the owners of them? They just didn't have a place to
There
store
has
them?
been an acknowledgement, and I think that at times the Heart of Danville has said that they own the logs.
Okay.
And if that's the case, then so be it. But they have no means or manner or budget to do anything with them that we know of.
And Stephen mentioned solution, and he's correct. If there is a solution out there, the city would have to have some rights to execute that solution. The concern we have had for some time is that it's a pile of material that is organized in pallets. The city staff has had to move those now multiple times. They originated in the warehouse that is now no longer there. And they've moved within the building that they're in now multiple times based on some work that has been ongoing. And so we do want to bring it to solution because, quite frankly, they could get damaged or we could lose pieces. And that's just the reality of a stack of material like that. And so certainly we would love to have a conversation and bring it back up in 2 weeks if that's possible.
Those logs came from the first recorded structure in the community of Danville, and they have been dated, and they go back to the 1780s. Is there anything else? Do we have any need for an executive?
Yes, we do. Personnel.
Do I hear a motion that we move into executive session for personnel?
I can't see y'all's cheat sheet over here. Go ahead, Jenny, it's right by you.
Don't throw her under the bus like that. Yeah, but you gotta have some. Go on, Jay, just do it and get it out of the way.
There's some notes here.
The first time in 25 years, I motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters pursuant to KRS 61.8101F. And this is done in honor of Denise Terry's absence today.
Motion is made by Commissioner Atkins. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Cottle. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. We are in executive session. Thank you, Commissioner Cottle. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Holland. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. We're in regular session. Mr. Coffey.
Thank you. Staff is recommending the promotion of James Morris from network technician to network administrator.
Do we hear a motion?
So move.
Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Great, motion carries. I move that we terminate Carissa Smith from her position of 911 telecommunicator effective immediately. Do you hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Anything else to come before this body?
No, sir. Thank you all.
All in
you, sir.
favor of adjournment? Do I hear a motion?
That
I'll
was
make a
good.
motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Commissioner Hollins. Or second, Commissioner
We second
Cottle.
that,
All in favor of
yeah.
adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign.
See
We
there,
are
you got-
adjourned.